Hello, hello, y'all. It's Queens AF, Queens Are Forever Ladies Night tonight, and we about to get started. I'm gonna start with the countdown, y'all. 1 second. All right, y'all. We in this thing. Another Tuesday. Hey, J Poo. Hey, Jamie. Another Tuesday. We made it back. How was your weekend? How was your Memorial weekend? Can you hear me?
Bring it back.
Oh, okay. And Gemini season is started. Y'all Gemini's is acting up.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Making plans, probably traveling or going to eat somewhere. Uh, my mom, she done started already. She got people taking her out to dinner already.
Yeah. I don't know
Hey,
what
question.
they have planned for me this year or if anything.
You just gonna chill?
Yeah, I'm getting ready for next year now. Next year is the one.
Okay, I got you. Is it a big number or is it just
Yes, auntie, I'll be the big five couple.
oh wow. Okay. Oh, you behind Flora. About a year. About a year. Yeah. But okay, I got you. I know my mom said she was gonna do the same thing. She
Yep,
was
I'm
just gonna
behind. I think I'm a year behind Flora.
yeah.
I think my sister is a year before her, and I'm a year behind
Oh, okay. Yeah, my mom said the same thing. Hey, Damien, I see you in here. Don't forget, y'all that's in here, please go ahead and hit the share button, share this out. We're gonna talk about some good things today. We're gonna talk about women and the statistics on how a lot of women have never experienced the orgasm, and they be in their 30s and 40s. We also gonna talk about menopause, like perimenopause, and which is right before you get menopause, and talk about how that um, can start when you're 33 to 35 years old
her. Hmm.
and don't even know what's going on with your body. So we gonna get into some things today.
Are
But
you
yeah, my
going
mom,
to play that video?
yes, and I'm definitely that's gonna be a part of the one of the topics.
Good, good, good,
Jamie
good,
said,
good, good.
"Shit, I'm late," and then you said you're late too. She said yes. Yeah, we was running late. We was running late. I warmed up. I mean, I warmed up. I charged the wrong device. So yeah, I had to wait till that charged up so we can get on here. Shout out to all the Geminis. It's Gemini season.
Gemini
I,
season in full effect.
and I was about to say too, my mom is chilling too. Like she was like, other people gonna do stuff for her, but she was just more like on her birthday, she wanna lay in her bed because she got so much going on this month. It's her birthday. Then her and my dad's anniversary on the 12th. They'll be married for
You
like
know,
50
that
years.
is so crazy. Okay, so it's my birthday's the 5th, and my mom and dad's anniversary is the 6th.
Wow, the day after.
Yeah.
Yeah, theirs is the 12th, but a week after. So yeah. She said she want to sit in her bed and eat.
Quincy.
Favorite.
I look down and the first comment I see is Quincy. I love my cousin. I promise I do.
It's just crazy. So and this song, before we get into the topics, y'all, is absolutely by King Jones. King Jones is putting out an album for the 209 for 209 artists to get on there, and other artists that are not from the 209 to be on there. But if you're not from the 209, you'll be on a song with somebody from the 209. And this song is going to be a remix. Everybody loves this song, and a lot of people wanted to get on it. So we're going to go ahead.
Let me in talking on one of them. I need to say something on one of them. I don't even know which one, but something.
I don't care what it is.
I don't know what it is. It's something.
One second.
Why this beat so complex?
When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt because I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt because I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. How do you want it? How do you feel? Surrounded by goons and they shoot to kill. I don't do pills, but I blow trees. She talk too much, not next to me. I need the cash, you keep the extra. I don't work out, but still I am flexing. Fuck your life, fuck your wife. Only what condoms, that's for my protection. The way you see it is not how I see it. I'm disagreeing, not my prescription. You are a hater, you sit with the haters. In the nosebleeds, not in my section. There will be singing and flower bringing. If you are thinking of taking my watch, not 12 rounds, but you in the ground. After some prayer, you still want to box? When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt because I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt because I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely.
Thought I would stop, want me to flop? Absolutely not. Put me to the game, pass me the rock. Down to the score, now we back on top. I came this league undrafted. Some of you need to practice. My team gets the cream all around the atlas. Stock and Globetrotter, hot as cold water. If you hot, then my flow's hotter. If you think you can get with me, a king, please. Don't bother, got this thing on lock like a chassis. Got the dash, you think you gas me. I'm the truth in the booth, and I'm only speaking facts.
When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt because I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely. When they ask, will I win? Absolutely. Am I deep in my bag? Absolutely. They feelings is hurt because I know what I'm worth and been winning since birth. Absolutely. They want me to fall. Absolutely. Am I covered in gold? Absolutely. I'm hot as the summer, so please take a number, continue to work. Absolutely.
All right, y'all. So thank everybody for coming in. I appreciate it. Every time y'all come through, I always say, and we always say, you could be doing anything else, but y'all came to, you know what I'm saying, talk with us. So thank you, thank you. So I want to start off. I got two good subjects, and I don't know which one I want to start with. I don't know if I want to start with the sex one, with the orgasm for the ladies, or I want to start with the menopause thing.
Start with the orgasms.
Okay. I got you.
Because that perimenopause, that one is that's a deep dive right there.
It is. And I looked up some things about it as well. So we're gonna get into that. So there's she is a comedian and social media person. She's on Wild 'N Out. Her name is B. Simone. She has had a journey finding herself. She's in her 30s and she's, she's gave her life to God recently. So she's, transforming to a different, another woman. She's growing. Mm-hmm. One of the things, though, recently she talked about was that she had just experienced her first orgasm in her mid-30s. And once she did that, she started learning. She went to a therapist and a sex therapist and started learning about her body and women's bodies and statistics and things like that. So just want to give a poll, a survey. So in 2020, a poll revealed that 4 out of 10 Americans have never experienced an orgasm. 8% of women surveyed that said that they fake it at least 3 times a month.
Mm.
Yeah.
I ain't got the energy to fake nothing.
Right? 50% of men surveyed admitted they don't know how to please their partners. 50%.
That's not shocking to me because just like B. Simone said, she just figured out her body in her 30s. I think that if I went to, school back south. I went to a all black university, and they actually had so in my studies, because I was a psych criminal justice major. One of the classes that they have was human sexuality. So it was, it was a black teacher. He was hilarious. Dr. Terry was hilarious. So I was like, I'm gonna take his class because he hilarious when when we doing our workouts and stuff. So I'm gonna take his class. And he dove so deep into the human body, the male body, the female body, how we orgasm, just everything, the emotional state of the woman, how long it takes for her to even get to the organ, all of it. And I was like, you have got to be like, I never knew this. They didn't teach us this in school, so if we are just figuring it out, how do we expect them to know anything about it?
Right. And that's the thing, is the lack of knowledge, because sex and the pleasure of it for women has been taboo. Like men, it doesn't take much for them to do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? For women, it's a little bit complicated, and you got to pay a little bit more attention. A lot of men and women don't even know about the clitoris and all of the nerves in it and where it's at.
There's 2 types.
Yeah, there's 2 types. There's one in the front, right underneath the clitoris. There's one in the back. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's,
spot. Like it's not just, they don't know that there it is more than one way to make her orgasm. They just most women only feel the clitoral orgasm.
Yeah. I know a lot of women that have not. They've only felt it when a man enters them. They've never. I've met, and I know women who's never had good head. Like they didn't like it. The dude didn't know what they was doing, or they were hurting them. They was using their teeth. So there's a lot of women that didn't even get that.
Wow.
Yeah. I know when I was young, my parents had a friend of theirs who it was a couple, and they went. The woman went on a cruise with her homegirls, and she ended up having an affair, and she was in her early 40s, and she ended up having her first orgasm, and she divorced her husband when she came back. Like within a month or two, she divorced him when she came back.
She did a Harlem Nights. Look, baby. Love you, the kids ain't never coming home again.
Quincy said, I'm not faking it. She said, stay down there till you get it right.
Listen,
right?
Not a thing. I'm not faking, not a thing. I ain't got the time for that. Get on up if you don't know what you're doing. I ain't finna do that.
Fast. See, a lot of women can't just bust a nut, or come fast. Like that's not going to work for a lot of women because 1, stimulation, 2, the buildup, and 3, a lot of times it starts with women before y'all even get physical. It starts up here for a lot of women. Not all, but a lot of women, it starts up here. Talk to me nice. Love on me.
All day though. Don't just all day. Be nice all day.
Yeah, or at least a couple of hours heading up to it.
Right.
You feel me? Because he said, teeth? Niggas really eating the cookie? Yes, like, a lot of like women use teeth and don't know what they doing. Men be using teeth too, and they should not. What? Anyway, okay, so the 32-year-old comedian eventually responded because she got backlash for putting this out. She said,
really?
People will get on you, men and women will get on you if they feel like what you saying about sex, you know what I'm saying? Or I've never experienced, just because you've never experienced it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Like, come to yourself and put yourself in other people's places. So it says, she said, if I point to a clitoris on a diagram and ask 10 men what it was, I promise you they all wouldn't know. Please stop acting like you don't, like you know everything about a woman's body, when in reality, you're not taking the time to learn. And then, so also it comes on the heels of, well, it's not recent, but The Breakfast Club. I know everybody knows The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, and DJ Envy, and now it's also, what's her name? Jess Hilarious and Lauren. And so, but this is before the girls got on here. This was when, I can't remember when. But anyways, DJ Envy's wife, Gia, she came on there and she said, because they're very open about their relationship or their marriage. She said that for the first 10 years of their marriage, and they've been married for 20 something years, they have six. And the youngest, 6, girl. And the oldest one is grown, and the youngest one is like 2 years old, maybe 3. She said for the first 10 years, he did not make her orgasm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So she said that she said she didn't orgasm within the first 10 years of the relationship. She said we would be intimate and he would be putting his best foot forward.
Oh, she didn't have to say that.
Yeah, she said he's in the business of satisfying just all around. He lives to make me happy, and he puts his best foot forward in that role. She said, so I would see him trying and really going to work, and I'm sure many women can relate. You want to reward that man for that work, and the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. And even if I don't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking
lies. Listen, lies. I ain't faking it. I was brutal when I was younger, but as you know,
yeah,
lies.
So my thing is, y'all, it's a sensitive subject, and me and Quincy have talked about this on our regular show with just me and him, and I think that people eventually, Gia actually talked to her husband. Jamie said, no.
Period, Jamie. Period.
Yeah, and the thing is that in marriage, y'all, you gotta know that y'all gotta communicate. You know what I'm saying? And we always talk about people who cheat or who, because the sex ain't there, but there's a lot of women. There's more women that stay even though the sex is bad versus men. A lot of men, more men than women, will leave to go get it right. You know what I'm saying? And they'll love their woman, want to be with their woman, but if their woman is just not catching it, then they'll go get it. A lot of them, not all of them, will go get it from somewhere else. But I think that a conversation needs to be had more than anything. If we're married, if we doing the do, why can't I tell you what makes me happy or what feels good and what doesn't?
I mean, you should be able, if anybody, you should be able to talk to your spouse, your husband, your wife. Like, that's your lifelong partner. And if you want to keep that lifelong partner, you absolutely should be having them conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I don't think a lot of women or men don't even realize, like, I don't even think they know how long it even takes for you to stimulate a woman before she even gets close to an orgasm. It takes 21 minutes of stimulation for a woman to even get to that point. 0.8 seconds for a man. It's crazy, huh? 0.8 seconds. Look it up. Look it up. So, man. What man is really taking their time for 21 minutes to make sure she's there?
A man that loves you and a man that loves
you. Exactly.
Because there's some freaks out there, whether they love you or not, they just trying to have a good freaky time. You know what I mean? They'll take time but then some are not. They're just in it for, most men are in it for themselves. And I feel like it starts from the beginning when they're young men, when they're teenagers between, 15, 16 and up. And we're teaching them, or talking to them, or they're hearing things about what sex is about. And a lot of times, even back in the days, sex was mainly meant for the pleasure of men.
Right. Yes,
Uh,
yes, Quincy. Because when you say 20 minutes, nah, absolutely. Because what you're thinking of a clitoral orgasm, and those are very easy to have because of the nerves right there. I'm talking about a complete orgasm that a woman has from her G spot. It takes 21 minutes. Absolutely. Better look it up. That's medical.
absolutely.
But you know what? Listen, what's so funny is absolutely has been my word since since I can remember. My students always, and when they did something and they was getting ready to say something, they'd be like, Mrs. Ramsey, absolutely, yep, absolutely. That's always been my word. That's why I love that song so much. Because yes, absolutely.
I see you, Damien. He said he watching from YouTube on the big screen. That's what's up.
Hey,
Hopefully
thanks.
nobody that is kind of squeamish around or anything like that, or prude. Because he said 20 minutes not fair. He said, no, I'm not. I will say this. It doesn't, you said not for the clitoris.
Not clitoral. That's easy to have. Most women only get that.
But some women don't. That's the crazy thing. I was like, man, that's a thing. And I know women in their 30s and 40s that's never had that. Like, this gotten head is terrible every single time they've ever had it. If I'm in a long-term relationship or a marriage, ain't no way I'm going to continuously for years not say, hey, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. Please don't, do this or don't, do that. I think it's more so, I always tell people, your person that you with should be open to, as long as you're not being rude and putting them down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you ain't nothing, you can't do this, or comparing them to. Do not compare them and tell them, oh, because in the past I've had this.
You better not. That's so disrespectful on both ends.
Yeah. So, don't do that. But at the same time, you should be able to have a conversation over drinks or whatever y'all do, or just have a good time and be like, hey, this is what I like. Or, when y'all in the mood, guide their hands, guide their mouth, whatever, their head, whatever you're doing. Quincy said that's why most of these bitches, be angry. Yeah. A lot of women do be angry because of the sexual tension. And men too. Men be very upset about that sexual. If it's too much built up, if they ain't had none or they ain't had no good in a minute, that sexual tension builds up in anybody. Mm-hmm. So, I think that is crazy that with this topic and the next topic we're going to talk about is that people don't know their bodies, men and women. Mm-hmm. We don't know our own bodies, and a lot of them don't know each other's, the opposite sex body. I went to school for medical assisting at Merritt College in 2006, graduated. And I got 100% on the male anatomy. And I got 98% on the woman's.
Now look at that.
James said absolutely. But he said 13 and a half minutes. Yeah, so it just depends. And a lot of men, even with just stroking, like their stroke game is weak. It's not good.
Not weak.
They're not thinking about the woman, they're thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
It was
a lot of it is.
It was a sexual therapist that was talking about that I was watching like a year ago, and she was talking about how a lot of times men just use women's body as a human, getting themselves off. So it's not even like a human sex doll.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not even thinking about the woman and what is pleasuring her, what is it gonna do for her. They like either get yours while I'm getting mine, or you ain't gonna get it.
You better come when I come, or come when I come back.
Right.
That's what they was. That was a song.
I'm telling you, sex, communication, and money are the top 3 things that will break up a relationship or a marriage.
Yep.
Sex, communication, and money. If you can't communicate, you can't tell them what you like and what you don't like. If you can't communicate, you can't get y'all money on track and be on agreements on your own how things are supposed to go. So communication, I feel like, is top tier, but the other 2 come right behind it. Quincy said, "Come, Duster." He said, "I seen a woman lift a car after 6 months of no sexual healing."
Listen, she was upset. She had some pent up frustrations. She lifted a whole car.
Oh, man, let me tell you, because that's crazy. And the thing is that it's not taught because it's taboo. Are your parents? Most parents are not going to sit there and tell their daughters or their sons how to have sex or how to pleasure themselves. Most of them are not. Now, my mama,
on the other hand,
my mama was a little different. Now, my dad didn't talk about sex. He talked about relationships and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Communication, all that. But he didn't get deep into like talking about sex. My mom, she talked about sex, and it was 5 of us, to me, my 3 brothers, and my older sister. She talked about sex. She talked about what a woman like, what she don't like, to the women, try to give us game on guys and stuff like that. But she gave my brothers a lot of game about women and how to love on them and how to do them right. And ask them about their sexual experiences, to try to get them to open up so they can be the best spouse they can be.
Right.
Jamie said, men masturbating to women is what many people say. Right. Quincy said, well, communicate to her and tell her you got $40 for some sex. We all had 3 hot buttons right there. You know what? Shut up. But the thing is,
Mr. Jones.
It's like telling a woman, with women, all you gotta say is no teeth. Don't use no teeth. You know what I'm saying? With men, y'all kind of gotta do a little bit, be more, pay more attention. Like, women have to pay attention to their man when they're pleasing him. Don't get me wrong, but our bodies are made a little different. That's our bonding time. If that's your man, that's your woman, like for real, or y'all married, that's y'all bonding time. So if we're trying to bond and do this thing and have a good time together, then we should be able to say, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like.
Right.
So he said, I always messed with older women. So when it came time for me to mess with women in my age, I was ahead of the game. He said, was a Hall of Famer. Shut up, Quincy. Damn Hall of Famer. And a lot of people shamed DJ Envy and his wife,
really?
Gia. Yeah, they shamed them. That's what people do on social media, and
they do. They're bullies behind them, behind that computer.
Yeah, like, oh, how you not know how to please your wife, or why you stayed with him? I wouldn't have stayed with him for 10 years.
And you probably don't have nobody now, though.
Right. Exactly. And even marriage-wise, people leave or step out because of that. And the thing is that if you love somebody, then it's worth it to stay, endure whatever you need to endure until you can say what you need to say. If you really love them, they're good in other areas. Like she said, he was enthusiastic about pleasing me. And she always talks about how he's always been a good husband. So I'm not going to leave my good husband over that one thing.
No.
Or step out on him over that one thing. We gonna work it out. Hey, J Fox, you know what I'm saying? We gonna work it out. We gonna talk it out.
Definitely.
Sex is fun. You can make sex fun, even if the other person don't know what they're doing. You can show them what you like and make it fun, make it sexy. People just want something, but none of us want hoes. But we want people to come in knowing what they doing. Right?
Yeah. Nobody
Some people,
wants nobody that everybody know. Everybody done seen, everybody done had that.
man. So, you know, you can be that for your spouse.
For your spouse, right.
This nigga said, if I don't bust a nut in 10 years, I'm beating up your mama.
You know what?
Shut up. No, you can say something. Say something. Hey,
That's
this is
what
not
it is. It's just communication. That's what it boils down to. Communicating, saying, you know, I need this, I need that, I need it this way, I need it that way. It's just simple communication, and I don't know why communication is so hard for people. And it really should be simple, especially with it's someone that you're spending the rest of your life with, or then spent so many years with.
right. Y'all doing everything to each other anyway. Let me
Right,
show you how to do it right.
right.
Okay, hold on.
Yep, absolutely. That's why you need to let me get on that song, Q. Let me talk or say something on absolutely. That's my jam. Especially if you're gonna remix it. Most men don't. Then Sean said, "Give me the nigga that everybody know, who know all the trick." You know what? I heard that. He was like, "Look, I don't discriminate, huh? You may have been with everybody, but he with me now." I heard that. I ain't mad at it. I'm at it. Let me look at some of these comments. Oh yeah, we already touched on most of them.
All right, I'm back.
Hilarious.
Quincy says, "Shit, I don't mind a hoe when I'm single, right? I know you don't, Quincy, and you was one."
But why the sis was right behind him though? You know what? I'm not about to play with them.
The nigga that everybody know, who know all the tricks. No.
I'm not about to play with her.
Oh my God. They
Oh,
look like
hilarious.
the brother and sister. Quincy said, right?
Yeah, that's a lethal combination right there.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a transparent moment, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a transparent moment. When I met Quincy, I was not experiencing like fellatio. Okay. So, but I'm a quick learner and I'm a pleaser. And I've always been intrigued by sex, and I've always looked up sex since I was 16. So, and not like porno, but like, you know, what is it called? It just escaped my mind. But they have books for it and everything on how to love on your spouse.
Into the Karma Sutra.
Karma Sutra, thank you. And so I wasn't like, you know, I dated a lot of dudes, but everybody wasn't getting none, and definitely wasn't everybody. I was not giving head to everybody, so that was out. You know, so with Quincy to learn, but once I'm like this, once I learn something, and I'm going to perfect it.
Gonna perfect it.
So that's why I say, man or woman, if they love you or if they want to be with you, and you teach them what you like and what you don't like, they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing whether you were born to be sexually advanced or not. It's a skill that is learned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a skill that either you have to love sex or you have to love pleasing, or I would say both. You have to love sex and pleasing other people, not just self-pleasure.
Well, see, it's because it's a non-selfish act.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's giving yourself, but you're giving them to make sure that they are pleased also, but most is just for self pleasure.
Right. And so that's, and when you're children or when you're teenagers and you're young adults, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, between 15 to 21, 22, even 25, 15 to 25, I'll say those 10 years, you're still learning. You don't know everything. I don't care how much you didn't have, because you can have sex and not please your partner. You can have sex and only think about yourself. So having a lot of sex doesn't equate to practicing and actually learning. Having a lot of sex, you had a lot of sex.
Right, because everyone don't have the same pleasures,
And or experiences. You know what I mean? We talking about women that are in their 30s and 40s that's never had an orgasm. We're talking about women in their 30s and 40s that's never touched themselves to even know. How can you tell somebody else what you like and you never even did it for yourself, or you learned your own body? Where are your G spots before you try to tell somebody else to find it? And then also, like I said in the beginning, it was with sex and women until I would say, the later on 80s, 90s, 2000s, when women started taking back their own identity and a sort of a feminism on sex and how they date and how they have sex and pleasure themselves or other people. So before that, it was all about pleasuring the man. Even their moms and grandmas would tell them how to pleasure the man, but there wasn't nobody telling them how to pleasure themselves or how to tell or teach a man how to pleasure them. So they're just a body that's being used. I'm gonna tell you too. There's another guy that I'm recently following. His name is Dox Digga, and he's super dope. He has a woman, and they talk about too. And I know, with Christianity and stuff, we don't like to talk about chakras and stuff like that. But I think it's just more so of the language, if we learn it better. But having sex with a woman, how a man's penis bends when he's in her, and what it does in different positions to open her up. When some women, when they orgasm, they cry. Because it's so good that they cried. The first woman I ever heard talk about having an orgasm, and she cried about it, was Janet Jackson. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a song on Velvet Rope. No,
you're right.
Was it Velvet Rope? Is that the name of it?
I don't know if it was Velvet Rope, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
But yeah, it was Velvet something. And she talked about it. She said, so good that it makes me want to cry. And until you experience those things, that's an actual release from the woman. That's an actual release. If she can be emotional and cry when that happens, from the womb. Yeah, you didn't did something for her. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men will get big-headed about it if they're able to do it. But anyways, let's get to Jamie said exactly. Damien said willingness to learn how to love your spouse is very important. Exactly. Just treat her like a pacifier. Everything else will work itself out. Yes, and no teeth. Jamie said, because women have been known as helpmates. So sexually, we don't explore ourselves in that manner, right? What's he said? We fake bust too, no lie. Oh yeah, Quinn people told me that.
Really?
He was like, I never did it with you, but I've done it with other women, and I've heard other men talk about it too. Like they get tired.
I've never. How?
I've never.
I mean, okay.
If I wasn't pleasured, I just wasn't pleasured. I'm not gonna fake it.
Somebody got to explain that one to me. How?
Now, what I will say is, as far as sexual pleasure, my husband is the best one I've ever been with. And he know that. I've told him that. But he could have. No, please don't sing that song because that is a song. Yeah, Quincy is gonna.
That's a
I've heard it, right. And so when you hear it, you just be like, wow, you can't imagine it. Things that a person has never been through, they can't imagine something else like you never, you know what I'm saying? You in your 30s, 40s, whatever, and you never, oh man. But lack of communication, lack of paying attention, lack of consideration, all of those things.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And boys and young men are taught to get in it and get yours.
Mm-hmm.
They're not taught to wait. They're not taught to if you know your woman hasn't finished yet, to pull out before you do. Give it a second. Count to 3. Count to 5. Sing ABCs. Whatever you need to do. Go back down.
Okay. I can understand that. Okay. That makes sense. Because I was figuring like, how could you? Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay, wow. Yeah. Some women don't pay attention either. They be like, well, he said he did, or he acted like he said, oh, and that was it. So some women don't pay attention either. To tell you some women call themselves pillow princesses. That means that I'm gonna lay on my back, or I'm gonna turn over and put my face in the pillow, and you do what you do, and I don't care about you. I'm not doing anything else to try to please you. Pillow princesses, that's what they call them. Damien said women are more than a uterus. They need love and attention, and they do. That's the
started something, huh? My bad.
But all in all, I just think with that subject, before we move to the next subject, is that we, men and women, need to pay attention to each other. Women need to speak up, women. If you are giving your body to a person, whether you are married or long relationship or just kind of dating, friends with benefits, anything like that, if you are giving your body to someone sexually, you have the right and the audacity to say, I don't like this, doesn't feel good to me. Or can we try this? Or can you do this? This is what I like.
Mm-hmm.
So we both can be pleasured. When one person is pleasured and the other one isn't, it makes it lopsided, and the one that's not getting pleasured is going to be upset. And either y'all gonna break up, or they're gonna cheat on you, or they're gonna be mean. They're gonna stay and be mean. Like what you said, Philip Princess, you lazy bitch. Yeah, there's some lazy dudes too. There's some lazy dudes and some lazy women for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about that before we go on to the next subject?
What, being lazy?
Yeah, being lazy, or just being able to talk to your partner about what you like.
I think that's a must. You have to be able to communicate with your partner, to be able to communicate your needs, because they don't know. If you just agreeing with, every time you do it, and you don't like say, oh, nothing different to what they're doing, then they're gonna think what they're doing is pleasuring you and is right. You have to say, hey, no, however, you communicate, because everybody has their different relationships with their spouse. Some can joke, some is serious, some is playful, some is loving, some is you know what I'm saying, like it just depends on your relationship. But you definitely need to communicate with your spouse about your needs.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You need to activate that throat chakra. Look. Look, on the Real Blunt. Shout out to the Real Blunt Saturdays at 10 a.m.
I love me some Jamie. She is hilarious.
50 Capone, oh my God. And they were talking about throat chakras for a different reason, but I was being funny and I was like, wait, is this a double and triple meaning to this throat chakra? When it's opened up, is it just for talking? But yeah, definitely gotta have that throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? And do different things. Like I feel like women are always thinking about ways to please their man. whether it's sexual or sensual for them to be intimate or romantic. Women are just the simple things. Women are always thinking about their man. And I feel like a lot of men, don't get me wrong, there's some men that do think about their women and they do find ways to please them, but it's not as many men thinking those things as women. If you're in a relationship or you're married, you should be weekly, maybe not daily, because people work and kids and bills and all that kind of stuff, but at least once or twice a week, I think about, you know what? Let me plan something for me and Quincy to do. Even if it's we broke and I'm gonna do a little date night at home. I'm gonna, spend a little extra money on that night or that day to buy some extra food, cook it how we like it. You know what I'm saying? Clear off the table or clear off our bed and make it up and put on something that we like to watch. You know what I'm saying? Do something we like to do. Or if it's something like getting some Vaseline or coconut oil and rubbing your partner down, like do things to think about how to please and pleasure your partner. And guess what? It's going to be in your benefit that night or maybe later that week. Women think about that. I think men do too. But women think about that, like, you know what?
I wonder if Sean is still here.
I know. You know what?
Because on this next one, I got some questions for her on this next portion.
Davian said, "No communication will you will lose your partner like a set of keys. She was here a minute ago." LOL. Exactly. Come on now, get them lips greasy and get up in there. No tea. Okay. All right. So let's go into the next subject. This one is actually about women in menopause and perimenopause, which is right before the actual menopause. Now, this will benefit men to know this information because men always want to know why they woman is crazy. Why they woman or they mama or they sisters or they daughter, or nieces, they want to know why they so crazy. And a lot of times is because we be going through things hormonal and we can't explain it. And we don't have the articulation to say, this is what I'm going through, or this is how I'm feeling. Even if it doesn't make sense, like we don't want to say it because it don't make sense. But here we go.
A lot of times, it's not that so much that we can't explain it. We don't even know what's going on ourselves. A lot of women did not even know perimenopause is so new. Like even in nursing school, I never heard of perimenopause. That's why I was asking, was Sean still here? Because who knew? I was side-eyed. My mama like, Mama, why you didn't tell me? She was like, I never heard of it. I'm like, that is crazy. So when did they discover this? Because it's a real thing.
I would say in the last 10 years for sure, the last decade, if not more. My sister is older than me, so you already know that. So she brought it up. My mom went to the doctor, brought it up. They talked to her about it. Also, my mom, what I love about my mom is that she tells us everything she goes through when it comes to menopause, ovarian.
Right, but it was never this. Like my mom has told me, okay, so classic menopause when we were growing up was what? Hot flashes, your menstruation stop, and mood swings. That was it. That's all they said you was going to go through menopause. And then they said that it would start in your late 40s, 50s. We're talking about in your 30s now.
Exactly.
I
don't know if it's always been in the 30s, but I will tell you in the last decade or decade and a half,
you broke up.
Women in their 30s have been talking about it. And I will say maybe it was always, but we just didn't know. A lot of stuff has been always, but we just didn't know. Even ovarian cysts, like my grandma, Mama Dia, Marie,
About
she, my mom, like if you have ovarian cysts, like small ones, and it's not cancerous, don't let them open you up and take it off. It's gonna shrink on its own, and that's exactly what it did with a few women in my family.
not always, but that is a case. That is a case that some of them will shrink, but
If it's not, you say if it's not cancerous.
even if it's not cancerous, some won't shrink. And see, that's a sticky one because it could burst. So I mean, you gotta. They have to monitor it to see if it's growing, see if it's
Big, yeah, it's gonna burst.
Mhm.
But they're trying
And
to
I don't
tell you
think it's big. If it's just depends on if it get infected. It's so many angles with that one, so I don't know. But yeah, but there is I mean, opening up is always major. Just like
Right.
I don't think some men take into consideration when a woman has to have a C-section or like that is a very 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 serious surgery for a woman. She can literally bleed out, like it's infection, it's so much with that. And I don't think it's discussed in its entirety. But with this perimenopause, I mean, because the symptoms is wild. And it's not just what we say, the hot flashes, it's so many different things to it too, that it really, like, I was just like, that's what's
So-
going on, like that's what's been going on. That is crazy. They didn't, and it's
They don't teach us that. They don't teach us that in school, even in college, unless you specifically go for like health and women's health. I'm gonna
I
play
went
the
to
video.
nursing school and they didn't teach that.
Right. I'm gonna play the video after I catch up with these comments. Quincy said, y'all crazy during y'all period a week before and a week while you're on it. So basically half the month. Yeah.
Actually, the whole month. That's so crazy.
I never dispute that because I can't say anything against it. Yes, we are always going through it. We have 4 cycles, and we about to get into it. 50, he said it's the food. Oh, 50. It is part of the food because of the plastics and
is the food.
what is it called? Be something. It's called something, but it's in the certain plastics, and it does alter our
BPO.
huh?
BPO.
BPO, thank you. Jamie says I keep being told, so I'm preparing myself, right? And then also, y'all, ladies, we have to keep in mind that every woman's not the same. Some
Right.
women start menopause real late, like late bloomers. Some women started early. Some women started around the original time that everybody's expecting you to. So it just depends. It puts you different. Quincy said, it's over, my nigga, to 50. Jamie said, I had a cyst burst and I didn't even know I had it.
Yeah.
And see, and it didn't do anything to her. So that's what I'm saying. Some women, like my grandma told my mom, like, you don't let them open you up and cut you. Wait till it's actually some, like, like, hey, this is cancerous, or this is getting bigger and bigger. If it's staying the same, getting smaller, if it's not cancerous, she told her, like, hey, and I don't get me wrong, I believe in doctors. I believe in doctors, science, and all that, but sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes they do stuff because they want money.
Well, that's true, but then you have to know that's why it's called practicing medicine. They're always practicing. They don't have all the answers, and America is not curing anything. Period.
No.
So even if they have the cure to it, we'll never get it. You know what I'm saying? Unless Europe or one of them other countries come out in Africa and say, hey, the cure is this, that, and the other. And then America's like, oh yeah, there's a cure for it, because they're not curing nothing. The money is in the treatment, not the cure.
Say that. And the treatment and
they'll never, but even like with the ovarian cysts and the PCOS and the polycystic ovarian syndrome, I make teas and stuff for that. I've helped my cousins and stuff shrink, their cysts, and help them with, with strengthening and thinning the line of their uterus, you know what I'm saying, with the tea. So it's just, it's other ways around it. America don't want you to know that though.
They don't. He said facts. Quincy said these women need to stop having babies, body sugar daddies, or buy their sugar daddies, and the girls won't be born on. Shut up on menopause. Every woman has menopause.
That's
Quincy said,
that's the final answer, Q.
So I would ask a simple question like, "Do you like Cheetos?" In 2 seconds, I'm at gunpoint. Shut up. Quincy said.
Not at gunpoint.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, y'all. And she is talking about she's talking about menopause and all the phases real quick in like a minute and a half or so. 1 second.
I'm glad the men stay.
There's a whole hormonal shift that starts to happen with women after age 33 to 35, surviving this phase of perimenopause, right? So you're dealing with a bunch of women who are hormonally changing in ways that they can't help. So some of these thoughts, some of these fears aren't necessarily fears, they're hormonal imbalances. Like, how do you prepare? Like, okay, she must be in her luteal phase or whatever that
Y'all got a luteal phase.
Listen, first of all, I just heard of the term perimenopause for the first time in my life 2 years ago. I'm typically in it for about 10 years. You can start it at about age 33 to 35. And it's like your body preparing for menopause. But then just a couple of months ago, when I thought I was having a nervous breakdown and dying and all the things, I realized that women are constantly in a hormonal cycle. So it's not just our menstrual cycle. We have the premenstrual cycle. We have the ovulation cycle. You have the luteal stage. There's 4 major hormonal shifts that you go through. So every week there's something different. Why aren't we taught this in school? Like why am I 46 years old learning about my body, right? And what's causing this? I think more women would be apt to pursue their dreams if they understood that what they're feeling isn't really guilt. What they're feeling isn't really fear. It's hormonal. So there's a time frame of the month that would probably be better for us to introduce new ideas. It really works this way. Like there's a chart that says in this phase, in this 7 days, don't try to take on any new ideas. You're opposed to creativity. You're not doing this.
Wow.
But then in this phase, this is where you want to be creative. This is where you want to be super productive. We're constantly in a hormonal change. So I believe that more relationships would be successful if we knew how to prepare for these cycles.
Yep. I'm going to read just a few symptoms.
Yes.
The common ones: the menstrual cycle changes, irregular periods, longer or shorter intervals, heavier or lighter, hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, weight gain, brain fog, joint and muscle pain, headaches, skin changes, fatigue, heart palpitations, chest pains. I literally, and mine just really started like mid last year, but I really thought I was having a heart attack. I was like, oh my God. Being a nurse and knowing the symptoms of a heart attack, I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I know this ain't how I'm finna go out, God. Like, I'm finna have a heart attack. Like, this is crazy. And went to the doctor, and my doctor was like, yeah. And then I'm having palpitations and stuff. Doctor was like, yeah, that's perimenopause. Excuse me, come again? Who? Menopause? I ain't never heard of this. Like, I done went to medical school, to nursing school. I didn't been in the medical field since over 20. This is new to me. She was like, yeah. And within the last 10 years of research has came out that this is what's going on. You got to be kidding me. Because when she first said it, like when I first found out somebody was like talking about it, I was looking at my mama like, Mom, why you didn't tell me? She was like, I never heard of that, baby. She was like, all I really had was some hot flashes and menstruation stops. She said, I didn't have all this other stuff. She said, well, I didn't know if I did. And I was like, that's crazy.
Right. And like I said, I have a sister 12 years older than me. Plus my mom is very open and talks to us about everything. So I learned about this. I knew about perimenopause. I heard all of that. Hey, Michelle. Yes, perimenopause.
Jamie is one of them. Yes.
Sean said so.
That weight. Yep.
I'm gaining the shit back because of menopause. That's wild. And
Yep.
didn't I just say that I started getting anxiety attacks? Right, Jamie? I thought, yes. He said, definitely need to be taught this. Once he said 33 to 35 shit. So basically, you telling me y'all Transformers Autobots roll out.
You know what? I cannot stand Quincy Jones. We so complex, huh? That's why y'all should treat us. That's why men should treat us better. Y'all see how complex we is? We have babies, we transform, we go through hormonal changes, all that, and still take care of y'all. We some bad mama jammers, huh?
We some bad mama jammers. We bleed without dying. And then on top of that, so when men do us wrong, whether it's cheating or lying or whatever, like just doing us dirty, now, not only, especially in our 30s and 40s, not only are we going through that, we are crazy. Like, we want to kill you. Nigga, like, we will kill you. Or we'll almost...
Look at Snapped. Look at Snapped and look at the age range of Snapped. The women on Snapped. It ain't too many. It ain't all them 20s and no. It's in them the mid 30s,
40s,
early
and some
40s.
50s. You know, there's
50s
are menopause in their 50s and 60s. There's women that's still in menopause in their 50s and 60s, y'all.
Yeah.
Just let that in. So, and on top of that, my mom, and you know, with her going through it, informed me. So you go through the perimenopause, say you get all of the symptoms from perimenopause, which is 8 to 10 years before you actually get menopause. Then you go through menopause, and that could last another 10 years. That could last another 10 years of just regular menopause.
That's why he's gonna have to meet me out the gate. God, I'm sorry. She gonna have to meet me at the gate. Cause why, lady? This is all. Yeah, we're gonna have to meet at the gate. Yes, literally go through a psychosis every month.
So what this lady was her, I think it was called socio something. I can't remember it right now. I meant to shout it out. A social, it's called social something. But anyways, I'll get that to y'all later. But the 4 stages is premenopause, which is your regular cycle, you know, your regular periods that we have. Then perimenopause, which is the 8 to 10 years before your menopause. Then you have regular menopause. Then you have postmenopause. Okay. And in your postmenopause, you still may have some symptoms. And then the effects. So she was talking about how it affects your success and your creativeness, right? Mm-hmm. So starting at your first day of your period, your first to 5 days of period is heightened. And that is when you're most intuitive and analytic and visionary, and you're thinking. Think about when you start in your period and how men or just people be like, you know, you always bringing up this, or you always doing this when you're on your period, because we're heightened at our intuitions and how we think and how we analyze things. So the next one will be days 6 to 14. So after your period, creativity is at a peak. If you want to start projects, do plans, strategize, organize, anytime after the last day of your period on for that week, that's when you want to do those things. And then you have your ovulation, 15 to 17 days after your first period. So that's when you want to communicate. You want to talk about everything going on. You want to talk about what's on your mind. And you're have the most magnetism. So people probably hollering at you. Your man probably want to be all on you. And the last one is day 18 to 28, which is your luteal, Luteal, luteal. And that's when you want to finish projects. You want to tackle the task. You want to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to get something.
Let me get this out before I forget. Luteal. Do you know what that stage actually coincides with?
What?
The moon.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That actually coincides with the moon, that luteal stage. That's why full moons, crescent moons, new moons, half moons.
Yep.
It does actually affect your mood swings, your creativity. Like you, if you've noticed, like sometimes you just like, I don't want to even get up and move right now. Like
Man.
the bed is gonna be me and you all day today.
And you don't feel bad.
And you don't feel bad. And then there's some days you up and at 'em. Let's get this better. I got this idea, that idea. I'm gonna work this. I'm gonna move this. And then some days you like, I'm not doing none of that. Don't even.
Yeah. Michelle said, "Hey," she said, "literally go to a psychosis every month." Right.
You know, I'm not gonna play with Quincy.
Quincy said, "And you better be whoop her good." Shut up, Quincy. Jamie, like in distress.
Oh my God.
It is because I just advocate to the Lord. I keep my place in heaven, right? Because man, the things that go through my head, I'm telling you, right before and on starting my period is crazy. Child said, "There is a bright side to menopause. You can hump all you want to. No protection or pull out and never get pregnant. I'll take menopause for $200. Look, wait a minute. Yes, you can. But do you know there's women that have gotten pregnant on their menopause? They thought that they were pregnant. There was women in their 60s and a 72-year-old woman that I particularly remember because she was crying on camera. And she was like, I thought that me and Leroy, we wasn't going to be able to have no baby.
Strong soldiers, Miss Lee.
My baby, when he graduates, they're going to be like, there go your grandma. He going to be saying, that's my mama. So some women get pregnant on menopause. And think about it too. Halle Berry had her kids in her 40s. Janet Jackson had her first child at 50.
Yep.
You know, and there's other women too. You know, those are just famous women I know. But there's other women that had their babies in 40s and 50s, tried for years, or maybe they had a child way earlier, and then later on, now they having a child again. I always pray. I be
read your husband comments, please.
Be me, Jesus. Quincy says, so y'all go through this shit for 30 years? Man, hell no. You gotta say, Sean, right? Quincy, my son says, so my life is at risk till I'm 50? Yes, it is, little sir.
That killed me.
Big Quincy said, lunatic, that's what it coincides with. We not lunatics. Michelle laughing. Yeah, I know you can. I was only kidding. Hilarious. No, you wasn't. She said, it's just very, very highly unlikely. They all did in vitro. Well, no, not the ones that I know of. They did. Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just some. I mean, it's some slip ups. It happens. It's not very, very common, but you know, it's always that loophole in anything, and it could absolutely happen, which is scary.
Because a menopause means for 12 months straight, you did not have a period. I know women who were in their 60s that went 12 months straight in their 60s or 50s and did not have a period. And on the 13th or the 14th month, they had a period. And then they went.
I'm fighting everybody.
With no period. So as long as you got a period, you can have a baby.
12 months, and then on the 13th, it want to come playing. Yeah, I'm fighting everybody. I'm angry.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought I had made it. Let me go 12 months. I think I had made it. Right. That's the only part that I'm looking forward to with menopause. Play with me if you want to and come on the 13th month.
My mom got her tubes tied, and every other woman that I know, like my aunts and stuff, got their tubes tied to stop having children.
Me too.
But there is a negative connotation on that. Like a lot of women, not all, but many women that got burned or tied have a negative connotation. Their periods were worse. Their attitudes, their mood swings were worse afterwards. But also, I don't be on birth control forever.
Listen,
because there's
I'm glad I tied mine because I am fertile murder. I'll be up around here looking like the woman in the shoe. I'm not doing it.
I don't want to have birth control forever. I don't want to be on that until I get my menopause. I don't. I know that now I may be a lucky one and nothing happens to me, but there's a lot of women out there. If you're on birth control for too long, and I have
it can give you breast cancer. It can give you uterine cancer. It can give you cervical cancer.
Yeah. So I don't have the arm one. I'm not taking the pill. I can't remember any other ones right now that are permanent, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's gonna happen. And then Quincy don't want to get a vasectomy.
And it's so easy for them. It's so easy for them.
Yeah. They didn't test
the easiest surgery for them. But for us, we gotta go into a deep surgery, anesthesia, cut layers, open, all that. And it's just a treat for y'all. In the office, we gotta go to the hospital. They can go right to the office and it's done.
Done. Just don't have sex for 2 weeks. I think it is 1 or 2 weeks.
And then everything is right back to normal, like you never.
And they can get it reversed.
Yep.
Easier than men can. So it's just. I just think that. It's something that women really need to talk about and think about, because either you're not on birth control and you risking having a baby, especially if you're in a marriage or a steady relationship on birth control, or you gonna get your tubes tied. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. Michelle, absolutely, that's true about the changes after getting your tubes tied. See, he said birth control is how I got the cyst. Wow, Jamie. Sean said,
you're not even touching them. That is so crazy. That men see the misconception. They don't even touch them.
No. Quincy, I'm gonna pinch your nuts. Sean said, I'll take the risk. I'm peeing all day long. Like menopause means reset.
Recess.
Listen, if once I'm on menopause, it's free for all. They also say too, what's her name? Michelle Obama. So she went through her menopause. Now, don't get me wrong. I know they have better insurance. They have more money. But if you have good insurance or a certain type of insurance from your job, they do things where they let you have like the organic or holistic, way of taking care of the symptoms of your menopause or perimenopause. And she was like, she didn't even know about these things when her mom was alive and going through it, because her mom died a few years ago. She was like, her mom didn't have this. But when she became, when she was in her menopause, she had the ability to do things that are organic and natural and holistic. And that helped her with the mood swings and everything else that she went through.
Oh, let me get a self-plug then. I make menopause pills and tea too. So if it's really that bad to where it's bothering you, inbox your girl. I got you.
Shout out to Cubana Queen. Shout out to her business, the Purple Alchemist.
Yeah.
So y'all can get all the good herbs and everything that you need from her. Just hit her up on her inbox. She's on Instagram and she's on Facebook. Yes. So if you don't trust anybody, because sometimes you don't know who to trust, or if you don't know where to buy it from Amazon or wherever, you don't know if it's going to work or what people put it. I'm telling you right now, that's my family, and she's not putting anything in it that's going to harm you. She does research. She's deep in her bag. She's been in medical and all of that. So y'all can definitely trust that. Quincy said, it's only one way to guarantee you don't get pregnant. Suck penis. You're welcome. Shut up. But what if I want something more than that?
Right.
Michelle said, mine are tied. I am fixed, retired, and I know some women still get pregnant while they are tired, I'll just go get me some papaya.
I heard that. Listen, you could have left that part out. Don't say nothing about nobody getting pregnant while they tubes is tied. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But it does happen too. That happens too.
Yeah. And
prayer.
Women have gotten pregnant on IUDs, pills, the whole thing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But what I wanted to say real quick before we leave, I know we at the 1.5 hour mark, is that you know, we need to think about teaching our daughters and even our sons who are going to be with somebody's daughter about hormones, about periods, about if when they get married and they're in their 30s, hey, this is what is going to happen eventually. This is when, you know what I'm saying? It might be soon, might be later. You know, we need to teach them because they're not going to teach them in school. And a lot of times in university, unless you're specifically going for that in college, they're not going to teach you that. Does this help relationships? Yes. This would help relationships.
Absolutely will.
Your man knowing, hey, she not just crazy because she want to be crazy or she's making up things. Hormones are a real thing, and a lot of us cannot control them like that. Like when we learn about it, we can try to do something about it. We can curb it. But ultimately, it's up to our spouse to say, hey, I'm going to have patience and I'm going to have grace. I'm going to have unconditional love. And I know that, you know, this is not you 24/7.
Right.
You know, I know that you love me and I know you're just going through something and I got you. Let me go get you a comforter, or what is it called? A hot pad. What is it called?
Hot pad?
Yeah, a hot pad. You know, or let me go get your favorite snacks. Let me go, and also for women, our diets and exercise helps with periods, menstrual periods, and menopause. Taking our vitamins, taking magnesium, taking, you know, A,
zinc, B12, your B complex. Yep.
Yes, tell them, cousin. Like those things, daily or weekly, those things are going to help you. Also, what is it called? Is it ginkgo? No, that's not ginkgo. St. John Wort. My mom,
black cohosh.
My sister put me on to that. St. John Wort will help.
Ashwagandha. Get you some ashwagandha tea. Not if you're diabetic, though. If you're diabetic, that's not good for you. But ashwagandha tea, yes. Get you some chamomile tea.
Chamomile. I got
lavender.
Lavender. I got lemon tea.
If you have an oil diffuser, you can diffuse lavender, rosemary, and lemongrass. It smells so good too. But you can diffuse it into your room while you sleep and stuff, and it calms you. So I mean, there's a lot of holistic things that you can do, and it works. Absolutely works.
Without having to go get over the counter or medicated, stuff like that. So Michelle said, Cubana, she just added you. Michelle is from Houston, and she's one that I have met out here. We work together. So shout out to Michelle. And she is definitely on the list of one of the kindest people. I don't like to use nice because nice is fake to me, but kind, doing things when you don't have to and out the just kindness of your heart is one of
those kind of people around because they far and in between.
They are. They are. I would pick her, but our schedules are different. So definitely. But there's all kinds of things that we can do, ladies and men, to help your ladies, to help ourselves, to be the better wives, girlfriends, mothers, or just people. Maybe you're not in a relationship. Maybe you don't have kids. We don't want to forget them. But just to help you in your own mind, you know what I'm saying? Your own soul. Because life is hard, y'all. Life is out here. Life is hard. And we're just trying to get through, and we're trying to love our way through. Some people trying to hate their way through. But hate is not going to get you to your level.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
All right, well, we at the 1 hour and 35 minutes. You have anything else to say?
No, this was actually a really good topic. I love how because they coincide. So, um, great topics tonight.
It really
I hope
does.
everyone
And
enjoyed.
I always, since I was little, I've always wanted to have something, whether it's a platform. I'm very private. I'm a Scorpio. I'm very private, and I'm actually very shy. I only do this because Quincy makes me. No, I'm just joking. And then Cubana came by and made me know.
You know what is so funny? Because I had been thinking about, because I do the herbs and stuff, and this because I have been, on Facebook seeing a lot of women speaking, saying they this, they're going through this, or they got this going on, and I was like, it need to be a safe platform where, there's people giving out information that can really help and that can be trusted, because anybody can say anything, but it's been tried and tested, like you said, I've got certifications, I've been a nurse since 2007. Been in the medical field since 98. Here it is. You've been married, we both are, and you've been married 16 years and stuff like, so, we have that, background. And so that's what, I feel a lot of us women need, that background, that somebody that can trust,
It's hard for us
I
ladies.
wanted to start this. Yep.
It really is. So shout out to everybody that came through. Not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. We always do this the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of every month. And we always gonna bring y'all some good stuff. And I'm always trying to do better. I'm definitely this year gonna have more people come on. We had a therapist come on, Lakeisha Hutchinson, that came and gave trips and everything. So we're gonna have more things going on, y'all. It's the summer coming up, so we're gonna do our thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I'm gonna end it with a song by A Payne, aka Tanya Chamberlain. It's called Cigars and Moscato, y'all. I gotta use the bathroom. I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
I like this.
Y'all have a good night, y'all. On the third Tuesday, y'all.
Light up the stogie, give it to me like you owe me. Only in town for the night. Thumbs up, no, I'm tryna hit you right. All this ass that I'm holding, I have checks closer than appearance. My girl tryna run interference, yeah. I just wanna let my head down. What you wanna do? I know you feel it too. We can really disappear on a red eye with you. I know you feel me too. Yeah. Cigars and Moscato, tryna get gone as a motto. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow. Yeah. Cigars and Moscato, tryna get gone as a motto. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow. Big P-A-Y-N-E, do it the best. Nova all on me, looking so fresh. Honey caramel, look at my flesh. Keep you on your job, make you sweat. Ain't no feelings, I'm only here for the sexual healing. Play your cards right, baby, I'm the one dealing. Hit the jackpot, make the waves at the ceiling. Yeah, yeah. Moscato, tryna get gone as a motto. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow, yeah. Cigars and Moscato, tryna get gone as a motto. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow. I ain't gonna remember by tomorrow.
All right, y'all. Thank everybody for coming through. Like I said, Every first and third Tuesday of every month, we have Queens AF, which is Queens Are Forever Ladies Night on this Full Cup podcast. And I appreciate everybody coming through, y'all. We love y'all. Thank you. Have a good night.